Welcome to this YRE TV video. In this episode, we are visiting Trashy Bags together with EcoSchools Ghana. Trashy Bags is a company that cuts down on pollution by reusing and upcycling waste like filter sachets, needle bags, and clothes scraps into amazing products. By doing this, they contribute to a more circular economy, making our world a little bit more sustainable. We are here to give students a practical approach on recycling, inspire them to think of solutions, and show them how useful recycling, reusing, and reducing really is. Plastic pollution is a big problem in Ghana, especially in Accra. Many people just throw away their used pure water bags and they lay on the ground, in the streets, everywhere. Not many people know that you can actually turn them into very nice and beautiful bags, blankets, and all other kinds of stuff. And that's what Trashy Bags is doing, or better say, they've been doing it for 15 years at Aboluah in Accra here. We from Eco Schools and the YRE, we visit them once a week with different participating schools. This time it's St. K. Michael's School. But there's someone that can tell you way more about Trashy Bags. It's Elvis. He's been our lovely tour guide, and our reporter Rosemary Balami got the chance to interview him and some of the students that participated in the school. So enjoy that.
So, Mr. Elvis, being the site production manager, how has it been so far for you? How has business been so far at this place?
Yeah, it's very diverse. So for 15 years that we've been operational, we've had also challenges in diverse ways, but restructuring that we are on the right course. So we have a situation with the workforce. We have 28 people at the moment, and then we're looking at also expanding again. And then we have also a product so that we need to link with the world, basically the world. In different things, and that's why we keep on being innovative about the things that we're doing here all the time, looking at what our clientele will need from us, and then what we can make that will be practical also local here, like the school group that you brought here with the school bag, to see how we can use our products also to showcase and then tell the world and our children that we can do better in terms of sanitation and then recycling and dealing with environmental issues positively. And that's what we've been doing for 15 years now.
Absolutely. So now let's talk about the source. How do you get people to bring you this pure water sachets?
That is a fascinating story. What we've done over the years is not to limit it to particular people, because we want as much as we can to harvest the material, not going onto the environment in gutters, drainages, and all that. So we haven't limited to a particular people. So individually, we have people within the community. This is our third place, actually. And then we've seen that anywhere that we were operational, our factory was operational, most people, relatively, most people will bring the plastic to us. And then they know they get paid for because there's a value for the material. We have some families that will not want to throw away but not knowing where to take it to, so they donate to us. And then we have people from afar that when we build collaborations like yourself, we've had people from schools from all the way from Brekusu. Okay. We have had schools from Koforidua and in all places. And then the school kids then build the pile, and then we arrange the delivery, and then they get paid for that. So there's no limitation to who can bring to us. And then what we do again, also we build collaboration with other people who also pick from us our waste, the little pieces that we can recycle for other recycling purposes to make granules, pellets, and other stuff.
Okay, great. So can you tell us, the pure water sachet, do you use any pure water sachet? Because I am aware that ice drop, for instance, is very soft. So I don't know, do you check all those things before you collect the sachets?
No, with the purpose of what we are doing, that is not really relevant. So we use all sachets. Unless they are in a deplorable state, either worn or torn, or we can use. But even that, we do the sorting, and then we give back to other companies that make the granules or pellets. Okay. So sometimes those that are lighter, like we are mentioning, we use them for our lining purposes. And then, so we are able to use all categories of sachet, apart from those that are in a severe deplorable state.
Okay, great. So has there been any challenges? How has it been with Ghanaians especially welcoming this sort of innovation?
We have two aspects to that. One, because cost of production is high, and then people also relatively people look at that and say this is waste. And so waste, especially when we have cheap Chinese goods here, you look at that and say, oh, I can get this for some peanuts, not having to buy from the. So we know the challenges, and that's why we know the Ghanaian, the attitude and then all that towards our products is brilliant. So we want to use that as a vibrant tool to educate the children, and that's why the school bags, we get sponsorship. We make the bags and then we give them to the schools for free. With contents inside, and then they can't afford it, but they have the bag, they send home the sensitization and then all that. So the two aspects of it is like that. And then we had also the smart bags that we saw inside. Also those, we did a campaign with that also to deliver in the shopping malls, and then people were so fascinated about that that they can get a reusable shopping bag rather than getting back and forth getting cheap plastic.
So now let's talk about your marketing or your target market, for instance. Is it only in Ghana, or are you able to ship outside, or is it only for Ghanaians to buy?
We virtually sell to the whole world.
Okay.
So we sell to the US, we sell to the UK and other parts of the developed world, and then also locally here. And then at various times we have groups also coming in here, local and then foreign, who also purchase from us locally here.
Okay, fantastic. So lastly, what advice would you give Ghanaians? They're all watching you, they're all listening to you in terms of this whole environmental sustainability agenda.
We saw a very huge problem in the past, and then the problem was so frustrating to the extent that you think that your contribution will not matter. But I said in the past, about 15 years ago, that however little your contribution will be, just make sure that you add it up. And then now we're seeing a change coming. But unfortunately, the change is much better with the youth than the adults, because the adults have mastered a situation where it's difficult to bring change immediately. So that's why we're particular also about the school bag and school educational groups and all that, to nurture the young ones grow with the habit of recycling. For instance, if I do a comparison like the students that have come to the students at the Lincoln International School, it's different. The reason is that they have a different worldview. They don't use this water strategy. Some of them are even relatively new in school in Ghana here, so they have no clue about what's happening. Whereas with the young ones who have come today, they see on daily basis the problem. Practically, they see the problem. And so that's why we need to nurture them more to grow up with the habit of changing the situation. And I know it's happening. It's a bit crawling that you expect that it will be going to higher heights within a few years, but it's crawling, but we'll get there.
Absolutely, we'll definitely get there. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us.
You're welcome, and highly appreciate bringing the group also.
Thank you.
The schools we work with are one of Trashy Bags suppliers. We encourage them to collect and sell their used pure water sachets to them. This generates a small income for them, provides the raw material for sewing, and helps in environmental protection along the way. We also give lessons on sustainability in these schools, because we believe that education is a key in ensuring a more sustainable future for Ghana and the world.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. So which class are you in?
JHS2.
Of which school?
St. K. Michael School.
Fantastic. So today you've come to have a tour of Trashy Bags production site. What's your few takeaways? What have you learned so far?
I learned about how they clean the sachet waters and use it for resourceful things like bags and other things.
So amongst the products, which of them do you love?
The computer bags.
This computer bag.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to students like you out there who haven't had a chance to see Trashy Bags?
Reach for the impossible.
Wait for the impossible.
Reach
For the impossible.
Yes.
Okay, that's fantastic. So now, with regards to waste as well, like this filter rubbers all around and all the pollution that we are seeing, what advice would you give them?
We should know how to store them wisely by not dumping it in the oceans and other things.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks for talking.
Hopefully we can see more social enterprises like this in the future to tackle on Ghana's various environmental problems. We thank Trashy Bags for the tour and you, the viewers, for watching. We hope you learned something new. Further information like Trashy Bags website and other things in the description below. Goodbye.